Good morning everybody and welcome back to Chilli's Farm Kitchen. Today we are in the kitchen because we are going to be making kimchi. Kimchi, like sauerkraut, is super beneficial for your gut. Some say it's even better than sauerkraut because it has more strains of bacteria in it. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Okay, so here are the ingredients that you will need. Traditionally, kimchi is made with a wombok cabbage, but if you do not have a wombok cabbage, then you can get yourself a regular, it's slippery, a regular cabbage. It works just as good. Do not panic, my friends. So this is my wombok cabbage that has already been prepped. It had a ton of slugs on it, so it has been washed. As you can see, there are still holes from the slug damage. Because it is an organic cabbage, the slugs do love it. Then you'll need a daikon radish, some spring onions, some carrots, peel the carrots obviously, some ginger, some garlic, some chili. Now for kimchi you use Gochugaru chili. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's a specific type of chili that isn't too strong, but I don't have that. So what I've done is I've taken some dried chilies and just chopped it. So if you don't have the Gochugaru chili flakes, then you can take some dried chilies and chop them up finely and use that. But you do have to be mindful that those chilies could be stronger than the Gochugaru, so you will have to just play it by ear and see how many tablespoons of chili you want to add to your kimchi. It might be substantially less, or it might be a mild chili that you have, so you might have to add more. So just keep that in mind. The other ingredients that you will need are some fish sauce. This fish sauce is just anchovy and sea salt, so that's great. It's no additives. I'm so happy about that. It is expensive though, mind you. And then you will need either some sugar or some raw honey, which I have here. Look how beautiful it looks. And last but not least, you will need some non-iodized salt. All right, that's all the ingredients. Let's start chopping. Okay, so first, let's chop up our cabbage. Chop the leaves in like half, and then try and get relatively, similar pieces, I guess. The more leafy part, I guess you could go bigger into pieces, like so. Once you've chopped up your cabbage, put it into a large pot or a large bowl where you can collect all the vegetables, because later we will have to weigh the entire amount of vegetables because we will need 2% salt for this kimchi. Now let's add some carrots. Some people shred it, or some people like chop it into fine like chopsticks. I'm just going to shred it on the bigger end. It's kind of like this. Add this also to the pot. Now let's add some daikon. Let's peel it, and then we will use, I think, this side to just get some slices out of it. Again, you can do it different ways, like you can do that chopstick method, or you could like grate it here, but the daikon is actually quite liquidy, quite juicy, so I'm thinking that this end is a bit better. Yeah, it's pretty good. Add this also to the pot. Now we add our spring onion. All of this is organic, mind you. Pretty proud of that. Extra good kimchi. Okay, I have no idea how we're supposed to chop these spring onions. I've never added spring onion into kimchi before. So, shall we just like do something like that? Like chunky pieces, like so? Yeah, let's roll with it. Okay, so that's it for our vegetables. Now we have to get onto our spices, our sauce really, our paste. All right, now let's go ahead and weigh it. So let's make sure it's not touching anything. On 0 grams, add our vegetables. Please go in the pot, don't make a mess. Ah, no. Okay, so that is, what is it saying? It is saying 1.12527, 1.1, let's say 3, 1.13. So now we will have to calculate 2% of that. So now let's measure 23 grams of salt. 23 or 24, that should be fine. Right, now add your salt into your vegetables and massage it like you would with sauerkraut. I'm adding it in batches so that it gets evenly incorporated into the vegetable mix. Now let's get our spicy pasty thing going. So add your garlic. I add about 8 cloves of garlic per kilo of vegetable. So crush it. Now add into here ginger. This will also have to be like crushed or like very, very finely chopped. You want about like 2 centimeters of ginger. Just a good chunk. Add in your finely chopped ginger. Add 4 tablespoons of fish sauce. Add a teaspoon of honey or a teaspoon of sugar, whichever you prefer. I prefer to use honey. But also this is a ferment, so the ferment will eat all the sugar up. And now add your chili. I'm going to be adding 4 tablespoons of chili into the mixture because it is, again, 1 kilo of vegetable. And mix that in. Make it like a paste. Yours might look different to mine because you might be using the actual Gochugaru chili flakes, so in that case the redness of the chili will be more evenly incorporated and not as clumpy as mine. Now this is the part that I recommend you use gloves because we now have to add our chili pasty, fishy, honey, garlic, ginger, saucy thing into our vegetables. Although I do not have gloves, so I'm going to go barehanded. Wish me luck. I just have to remember not to touch my eyes. You want to give it a good squeeze too so that the juices start to come out. So this is how it should start to look like juices coming out of it. I think I'm going to stop now. Now get out your sterilized jar. Now start filling up your jar. And remember to press down so that there's no air pockets. Fill it up really tightly. So that looks pretty good. You need to leave a good gap from the top so that the carbon dioxide can come out. Now you can just put a lid on it and voila. All right, there you have it. That's how easy it is to make kimchi. Now all you have to do is put it in a dark spot, like a cupboard for instance, places that you would put your apple cider vinegar or your sauerkraut, Leave it in that space for about 1 to 2 weeks. The colder it is, the longer it will take to ferment, so maybe 2 weeks might not be enough for you. You might need 3 weeks. Or if you're in a warmer climate, maybe only 3 days is enough for your kimchi to ferment. So you can take a sterilized spoon or a fork and just test it and see how it is to your liking. And if it's good, then put it in the fridge, because the fridge does slow down the fermentation process. It does still slowly tick by, but then once it's in the fridge, it can last for like 6 months. Now, if you're putting a lid on it like I am, it is recommended to burp it every now and then so that the carbon dioxide can escape and your glass jar will not shatter and explode. However, I do know one person who makes kimchi and she never burps her kimchi and it never explodes. So I'm not sure. Just one of the most important things is that you have a little air space at the top for your kimchi to release its gases, and also that the kimchi has been pressed down, that there's no like big air bubbles in the jar. And another important thing about making kimchi is that you should have your kimchi fully submerged into the juices, because if these juices are on top of the vegetables, then you have a better chance of not getting moldy kimchi. As your kimchi ferments though, it will release more juices, so it will rise. Alright guys, go heal your gut with some kimchi. Look at it, it's amazing, it's beautiful, and it's full of good bacteria. Well, not yet. In a few weeks it will be. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Chilli's Farm. Bye! If you like this video, maybe you should watch this one right here. Or maybe you should watch this one here instead. Look appealing to you? I think it does.